think you should stay away from Bivol. Shit, stay away from Better Be too. Shit. Go back to 68 and handle your business. But I feel like 175 pushed it, man.
You know, if Canelo was a true competitor, I would actually be against what he just said. But I actually agree with Eroll Spence. Because at this point, if he has slowed down like this, or at least people are noticing that he has slowed down or been limited for a very long time. It's just hitting behind the mirage. You wasn't able to see it. You wasn't able to tell. You put him in front of the right people, you could see it clear as day. So I would say if he was a true competitor, no, go after Bivol, you know. But then again, he didn't rematch Laura, and he didn't rematch a lot of people when he had some fights that was questionable. So the competitive edge isn't there. So in that case, since he's at the state that he's at right now, yeah, I think he should have avoided Bivol and Better Be. And that's only because, and keep in mind, Eroll Spence is only saying this because, you know, it's just getting redirected back to PBC because that only leaves Benavidez, which is, and this is why it makes sense, which is the biggest fight that he could make. You know, if you're going to go out with a bang. If you're heading downstream, you need to capitalize on the biggest money fights that you can. And that is David Benavidez, you know. But then again, you know, the whole reason why Canelo went on his whole European tour and stuff like that is not only because he felt those guys were easier, but if Canelo does lose to one of those guys, he doesn't lose anything. You know what I mean? Like, if he loses to Benavidez, if he loses to Charlo, if he loses to anybody else, Americans, he lose something. And he knows that. And it's a question of, how does he want to end his career? Do he want to end it on this kind of note? And it brings up another question that's been on my mind for a long time. I don't think Canelo has the option to retire. You know, I think he stands for too much in the background. I don't think he has an option. You know, I think he has to keep there's no one else. And if you don't want to pass it on, then what do you want to do? Now, they can't totally have no Mexican Latin presence in boxing such as his, and you don't have nobody to replace it with, and you have Benavidez there, and everybody knows what's supposed to happen. The passing of the torch ceremony is supposed to happen, but yet Canelo's the only one that I've seen that has delayed this process. So what do they want to do with him? Which leads me to believe his retirement and stuff like that is ultimately not up to him. You know, because Canelo is, let's face it, he's a figure that's there to represent something beyond boxing. You know, it's almost like he has to be there. So I don't know. That's just something that's been on my mind. But, you know, if you're slowing down, if you're going to take another loss or something like that, if you're going to get knocked out, if you're going to do it to Benavidez. But then again, I've already made a video why that's more than likely will never happen. That fight between Canelo and Benavidez. So it still leaves the interesting question. How does Canelo Alvarez put a period on his career? How does this end? Because he could kind of make up for some stuff that he didn't do by fighting Benavidez. But if he doesn't go that route, his career for the most part will be in shambles from beginning to end. And it's, you know, the accusations, the fake fights, the favoritism, you know, that's always going to be talked about. That's always going to be known. But if you also ended on this note, it just further drives in the point what people were saying about Canelo. You know, he was a halfway decent fighter who was overhyped, who was engineered, who was protected, who got privileges, you know, franchise champion and all that stuff. It'll just really solidify that. So where they go from here, it's interesting to see how they shuffle Canelo, because I am paying attention, you know. Anyway, so my thoughts on this. Like, comment, subscribe, I'm out.